Well, we'll chat through the matchups soon, but first of all, we'll give you the teams. For Laois, Brockon O'Reilly starts in goals with Bobby Murphy, Kieran Flynn and Joseph Pearson the full back line. Thomas Brennan, Tom Cuddy and Cormac Hogan form a half back line with Andrew McDonough and Kevin Byrne in midfield. Ben Deegan, Liam Kirby and Jack Breen form the half forward line, and inside Owen Cuddy, Gerard Quinlan and also Cormac Byrne. For Offaly, Liam Hoare starts in goals with Caleb Larkin, James Mahan and Rory Kelly. Donald Shirley, Brecken Kavanagh and Tara Guinan form the half back line with Lee Kavanagh and Killian Martin forming the middle of the field. Shane Rigney, Dan Ravenhill the captain and Conor Doyle in that half forward line, and inside Cathal Robinson, Niall Furlong and Adam Screeney. So both sides are lining out as selected. A lot of talent still on both benches, and it's great to see the extended panel members, of course, which make it all possible, making up both sides. The manager for Laois, Declan Qualter, and Leo O'Connor for Offaly, the Limerick man.
We're going to play against them. What way they're going to set up against it, because it is a strong breeze. But if the supply of ball goes in there and Adam Screeney is on form, Laois will find it very, very hard to, like any of the rest of the teams, will find it very hard to look after him. But in saying that, the man inside on form can only be as good as the guys outside him. So if we have the rest of the boys, the likes of Rigney, the likes of Dan Ravenhill, like if they're on form as well, we're in with a shout.
Well, we'll have pause now for a moment's silence in memory of Aidan King of the Carrigan Riverstown Club. Three of his comrades line out here today from their club as we stand for a minute's silence. And we'll stand now for On the Veen. Well, it's hard even to hear the stadium announcer here. As we said, that minute's silence was first for Aidan King, the late Aidan King of the Carrigan Riverstown Club. He represented Offaly with distinction from under 14 right through to under 20. A lovely young fella, and it'd be a savage loss to both his club, his family, and we extend our sympathies to his family on the devastating loss of Aidan. He's in the forefront and thoughts of the Offaly people and indeed the wider GA community today. But certainly we go back now to the game. Fantastic roar there as the atmosphere builds up. We're moments away from throwing. I haven't seen a crowd like this in a Moore Park in many years that we've been coming over here to broadcast matches. Referee for today just checking on his linesmen, and also inside both sets of umpires. A huge cheer coming. We're moments away. The ref, Cayman Flynn from Westmeath. We're moments away now from throwing as both sets of players come in. The match is on, the game is on. The Leinster Minor Hurling Championship Final of 2022. Both players go for it on the ground. It's Offaly who come away with it first. Dan Ravenhill looks to break the tackle. He stood up by 3 or 4 Laois bodies, and they managed to hold him up, but he over fouls the ball, and it's going to be a chance of an opening free for Laois.
Yeah, and just Laois are playing with the wind. It was a strong one. Whether it stays all night, I don't know. It was interesting to see how he'd ref that, because a lot of refs will give the sympathy one with Offaly, and it could have gone either way, but it's gone Laois's way this time.
Well, a difficult free to start with for Ben Deegan, the Camross player. He's right on his own 65, a yard or two to the left-hand side of the goal. Deegan lifts that ball, a low trajectory. He strikes it straight towards the left-hand side. It just carries out to the left-hand side and wide, and not a simple one to start with.
Yeah, whether it's nerves or not, but either way he was downwind, so he shouldn't have had a problem with the distance, but he slapped the ball a little bit, didn't catch it right.
Well, Liam Hoare comes to the first puck out for Offaly. He goes down the far side of the field towards Shane Rigney. It's batted back by the Laois defence, and they're quickest onto the break. Laois have started the quicker as they work the ball up to Kevin Byrne. Kevin Byrne offloads to Jack Breen. Jack Breen, patient on the ball, comes across the middle of the field. Offaly try to put in a hit there, but it's Laois who maintain possession of the sliotar. Kevin Byrne is on his knees. This time he wins the free. Thought the Offaly players had stood him up, but again, Laois have started well.
They have, but the interesting notice on that was there was about 3 hand passes there. Well, about 4 hand passes from Laois. 3 of them look very dodgy. So if he's going to let it go, let it go. If you pull them. But I just need consistency, so the players can now see that they can hand pass freely. Because yesterday 3 of them would have been pulled as frees for Offaly.
Well, certainly about 10 yards closer to the goals. It is going to be a chance at a free for Ben Deegan once again. Ben has been the main source of scores for Laois throughout this campaign, and this will be a chance to get the first score of the game. We're into the second minute now. Laois no score, Offaly no score. Deegan now with the free to come. Cayman Flynn blows the whistle, just ushers one of the Offaly players back, and Deegan lifts that ball. He strikes this one well. He has the distance and he has the accuracy to match, and Laois open up the score. And certainly, Stephen, like you said before the game, you'd hope that this game is let flow and it doesn't become a spectacle of very stop-start hurling.
Absolutely. Just noticing Laois started very, very confidently and on the ball. First break of ball came down, and again Laois Offaly have it.
Well, Offaly go away now with it through Tarraginen. Tarraginen comes in field. He's breaking 2 tackles. He's on the edge of the 21. Guinan the wing back. He's still going off the hurl. Rasta just over the crossbar. But for the right half back for Offaly, that's a brilliant run through the defence.
Absolutely fabulous run, and that's what you need. It's a half back, and you see your wing backs doing that and taking a bit of pressure off as well. Fabulous score.
Well, a brilliant settling score by Offaly and Tarraginen. It's a point each for both the sides. The puck out comes long from Laois. Ben Deegan tries to win it, but his own teammate takes it off, and that's Owen Cuddy. Cuddy's hand pass goes astray, and away come Offaly up the field. They set it up to the right wing forward position. Offaly trying to keep it in. Laois back there though in numbers. Both sides scramble for it. It does break out over the sideline. It's off the foot of Shane Rigney. It's a line ball for Laois.
Just on the setup, because of the wind, Offaly have actually set up as a sweeper, so they're playing 7 back there, but it'll force Laois to play a sweeper. The wind tonight is dictating that mightn't have been the plan for either managers before he started, but that's the way we've set up.
Well, Laois take the line ball quickly through Bobby Murphy. Bobby Murphy comes back to his fullback as Laois go across the field down into the bottom right hand corner. They get it at the second attempt. They go with the hand pass out as far as Ben Deegan. Ben Deegan in a pocket of space gets his shot away, and it's a good start by Ben Deegan and a good start by Laois.
Yeah, and a young Byrne in the corner as well. Good little touch, fed it out. Deegan knew he had to sit in the pocket. Good score.
So it's 2 points Laois, 1 point Offaly. Here comes Liam Hoare with the puck out for Offaly. He goes off his left hand side down the wing towards Ravenhill. Ravenhill in a battle there along with Killian Martin. Offaly come away with this ball now. They're going to get the shot through Killian Martin on the run off his left hand side, right out in the side, and it's going to break in the square. Laois goalkeeper Brockon O'Reilly gets it out into space. He runs out to the left hand side corner. No one within acres of space. Offaly try to close down through Lee Kavanagh, but O'Reilly gets the puck out long down towards the Laois 45. Ben Deegan goes up, but Offaly win it on the ground. Here they come out through the defence. Offaly again just trying to work it out, but good hassling and harrying from the Laois players. Laois try to come in field. If you've just joined us, 2 points Laois, 1 point Offaly. Into the 5th minute, both players tussle for it on the ground. The referee might blow for it, but he hasn't yet, and Brecon Kavanagh comes away with it. Brecon Kavanagh sends it down the field towards the Offaly full forward line. They try to win this. It comes in field, and again Laois back there in that defence in numbers. They take a shoulder off the Offaly midfielder Lee Kavanagh. Laois will have to release this ball. The referee looking for it. It is going to be a free into Offaly, and Stephen credit both sets of sides working extremely hard so far.
Absolutely, and it was a fair hit there. I know it was 50-50 and it was close, but look at Offaly got the benefit of it out that time. But just looking at Brecon Kavanagh, centre back there, to be fair to him, he was blocked down first time. He came back, won the ball again and gave a great ball up the half forward line. We won the free out of it, but this is a mighty start. It's a great start to a game now.
Well, it is going to be a chance for Offaly now. A first touch for Adam Screeney, the free taker. Screeney about 40 metres out. It should suit a right-sided free taker as he steps back to try and level this game. It is Laois 2 points, Offaly a point. Screeney now with the free to come, lifts it and straight over the crossbar, right over the blue spot in the goals. And certainly, Stephen, that's where a free taker wants to start. A nice simple free, settle him into the game.
Absolutely, and look, it doesn't matter how good a player you are, you need to settle down. The best of them in the country need to settle down. That'll be great for Adam just to settle into the game.
Well, away come Offaly. They try to win that puck out through Brecon Kavanagh. He loses his foot, and Offaly back there with Killian Martin again trying to win the ball. Laois just can't get it clean either. Does break out towards Lee Kavanagh. Lee Kavanagh running up. He has pace to burn this man. 3 Laois men on his shoulders. He scoops it forward down into the corner. It looks like Offaly have won the free and won the advantage, and certainly a late hit coming in there from, I think it was the Laois full back Kieran Flynn. But it's to be another good chance for a score for Offaly.
Yeah, another good chance there, and we're just discipline is going to be vital here today, because like they have 2 exceptionally good free takers. in Ben Duggan in particular, and then you have Adam, who's taking a lot of the frees inside, and then you have Dan Ravenhill, who takes them from the 60 in. So discipline will be vital. There won't be too many frees missed.
Yeah, well, it's a very precarious situation when young fellas are playing to such a big crowd. You play on raw emotion, and sometimes that can get the better of them. Here comes Screeney with the free, lifts it, strikes it confidently straight through and over the bar, and that's 3 points in a row for Offaly. It's now Offaly 3, Laois 2, but certainly the game just finding its own pace there at the minute, Enda.
I agree, and there's a couple of hits going in, and in fairness, Kevin Byrne took a massive belt, and he ended up lying on the ball, which was a free for Offaly. Normally you get a sympathetic one, nothing sympathetic here tonight.
Yeah, well, the ball comes away down into the corner. Offaly win it back now. They try to burst out of the fence again. Both sides hassling Harry with great effect, particularly this Laois forward unit. They're really putting the Offaly backs under pressure. Brecon Kavanagh gets in there into a ruck and manages to come out with it and wins the free. And certainly he's leading from centre half back. Of course, his twin brother wearing number 8 playing just in front from Lee Kavanagh, the identical twins from Kilcormac Killarney. And it's going to be a free now for Offaly and a chance to set up the attack. A packed O'Moore Park here. 7 minutes played. This Leinster minor hurling final. It's 3 points for Offaly, 2 points for Laois as that ball goes across from Ravenhill to Screeney. Screeney shows good skill to try and flick it by the corner back Bobby Murphy. Screeney though is just fumbles it out over the side, and it's going to be a line ball for Laois. But again, you can sense that bit of danger. Offaly trying to put Screeney on that ball early, and he has the skills to match.
Absolutely, he had two Laois men on him that time, alright. He was unlucky not to get up the ball the second time. But I have to say, in any team, if you have your centre back actually hurling, he's mopping up. Brecon Kavanagh there at the moment has started absolutely brilliantly, and he's taken an awful lot of pressure off that half back line, full back line.
Yeah, well, Laois come at the line ball now. The target was Ben Deegan. He's going to have a good battle there with Brecon Kavanagh. Brecon Kavanagh wins this now, comes down the wing towards Conor Doyle, the Clara clubman. Conor Doyle sends it across where Lee Kavanagh has made a good run. He's about 30 metres out. First touch will be vital here. Kavanagh, despite good pressure there, just loses that ball as Cormac Hogan comes away with it. He tracked them all the way. Hogan goes long with it for Laois, down onto the edge of the 21 metre line. Ball just breaks off the helmet of one of the players. Laois quickest to react. That's through Gerard Quinlan. Quinlan comes off his left hand side, gets the score. You spoke before the match, Enda, how pivotal big Gerard Quinlan is on the edge of the square, and that's a good score.
It is, yeah. In fairness, he used his strength there. He had a man behind him. You thought he might get hooked, but these big powerful arms, and in fairness, a fair score.
Well, that's a levelling score once again. 3 points Laois, 3 points Offaly. Nothing between the sides. Game played at a frantic pace. Here comes Liam Hoare with the puck out down towards the middle of the field. Offaly watch this all away, and it's caught by Conor Doyle. Doyle now with the ball in hand for Offaly, or Niall Furlong I should say, with the ball in hand for Offaly. Strikes it in towards Screeney. 3 men around him. Screeney kicks it forward. Kieran Flynn is back there, the full back for Laois. Loses footing. Ball breaks free. Flynn recuperates, tries to get it. It's right out on the end line. Offaly do well just to keep this ball in play. Laois have it now. Screeney puts in the tackle, but Laois knock it up the line. Offaly overturn it through Killian Martin. Martin tries to burrow a hole inside and wins the free. Good persistence by Killian Martin. Offaly win the free 21 metres out, but certainly, Stephen, both sides, particularly in the forward line, they're really not making it easy for defenders to get in a clearance.
No, absolutely not. And if you look at Adam again there, Adam has had a half chance there of getting in on goal, but 3 Laois guys around him. So like what I was saying beforehand was that, okay, you'd have Adam there, he can do certain things, he can stick a ball in the net, but he needs the back up there as well. If he gets on a ball, to throw a ball back out, pop it over the bar.
Well, another good chance of a score for Offaly, this time from a place ball. It's Screeney. He's on a 21 metre line, about 10 or 12 yards out to the right hand side of the goal, and again this should suit the angle which he will hit the free. The referee, Cayman Flynn, blows the whistle. Screeney lifts that ball, that strikes it over the bar inside the left hand post, and Offaly take the lead once again into the 10th minute now. It is Offaly 4 points, Laois 3 in this Leinster minor hurling final. Brockon O'Reilly has the ball in the goals for Laois, sends it out to his corner back Joe Pearson. Pearson comes up the field with the ball with the red helmet, sends it in field. Offaly watching this all the way. Dan Ravenhill back there almost in a sweeper role, gets that out as far as Brecon Kavanagh, who wins the free, and certainly Offaly settling into it in that back line.
They are, yeah, and what Offaly are doing, they're playing 2 inside, and Screeney's one of them, and he's got a lot of space either side because they're playing against the wind. But Screeney, here he goes again, lovely touch.
Well, Screeney just sells the dummy, gets it back onto his left hand side. The crowd in the terrace, a lot of them Offaly there watch that, and certainly no nerves there, Stephen.
No, when you give him room, that was absolutely tremendous. A beautiful score. Flicked the ball over the top and stuck the ball. In fairness, if he gets inside that 30-yard line, he's very, very, very hard to stop.
Yeah, well, a brilliant bit of skill by Screeney, the star man for Offaly on paper. He's got the bulk of their scores this year, but Offaly and Laois have stars on both sides. Offaly try to win this back now on their own full backline through Rory Kelly, bursting out the Lusma clubman, takes it back onto the hurleys, looking up the field, gets the hand pass away towards Conor Doyle. Doyle now sends this ball long down into the corner. Screeney trying to get it onto it. Two Laois men gathering there, and Laois will get there first, but Screeney keeps the pressure on, manages to forage this back. Don't know how he managed to get the ball from there. Goes onto his left hand side, gets the shot away, but the angle always against him. Aidan is going to keep in play. It's going along the end line and eventually breaks wide. Stephen, a fair attempt to dispossess it. He nearly picked the Laois cornerback's pocket, but just always going against himself, striking it from there.
Yeah, he probably should have played that ball across. He should have played that ball across. I think it was Niall Furlong that was on. It was a one-on-one on the far side. Just that time he just took the wrong option.
Well, away come Offaly now. They're starting to pick up the pace in the middle of the field. The ball comes back now towards Killian Martin from Tullamore. Killian Martin sends that ball a long way from the halfway line and gets it over the bar, and that's the first time now Offaly have 3 points between the sides.
They have, and the wind is dictating that Offaly have to work the ball into the corners. It's suiting them, but Laois are just going long and it's not suiting, and we're not winning the first phase ball, so Offaly are in control of the game at the moment.
Yeah, well, Offaly really starting to just take control momentarily around that half back line of theirs, and also Killian Martin just sitting back there in that pocket along with Dan Ravenhill right in front of the centre half back Brecon Kavanagh, and Offaly performing nearly barrier-like set up there just behind their own 65, and now Offaly will have a chance. Difficult free, it has to be said, for Dan Ravenhill, the captain. He's been expertly good at these frees so far in this campaign, particularly from long range, but he is playing into a stiff breeze here in this first half. If you've just joined us, there's almost 13 minutes gone. It's Offaly 6, Laois 3 points. Here comes Ravenhill now with his first long range free. The referee blows the whistle, and Ravenhill, the left sided free taker and the captain for Offaly, lifts that ball. He gets good distance in it. He will have the distance, but he just off to the left hand side and wide. And certainly, Stephen, to get that sort of a strike into a strong breeze, it has to be said here, takes a bit of doing and shows how lethal he can be.
Yeah, he was unlucky there, but I'd say every score is vital now at the moment, because this is going to be very tight. It'll be interesting to see the goal chances that maybe will come at some stage for either team, and will they be taken?
Well, here come Laois long with through Jack Breen, and that's a fantastic score on the run off his left hand side and an effortless strike.
Great strike, and he called for the puck out. He wanted the ball, he wants to make an impression. Great catch, great score.
Well, exactly what Laois needed. They're back within 2. It's Offaly 6, Laois 4. Laois almost overtook that ball, but away comes Niall Furlong with the ball, sends across field towards Adam Screeney. Screeney, just his first touch, lets him down that time. Laois back there in numbers again. So too is Conor Doyle trying to win it back for Offaly. Laois bring it out towards their midfielder Kevin Byrne. Hasn't got it into his hand yet, but Laois are foraging hard and they'll win the free through Andrew McDonough. And again, that's an important moment there as Laois just wrestle back the advantage and start to get grips with it in their own half back. And as Ben Deegan comes out, he's a long way from home, but he's aided by this breeze, and distance shouldn't be a problem for Ben.
Yeah, just the game was going against Laois for a while, so you're looking for somebody to stand up, and in fairness to Jack Breen, called the puck out, and it's a vital score to bring it back to 2. And now we've another chance. Ben again for long free. Here we go.
Well, Ben Deegan now strikes that ball. It's going to break in around the square. Offaly just content to let it break out to the left hand side and wide, just forcing the shot there. Deegan, he was a long way out, maybe 90 metres, and certainly Offaly happy to see that go out to the left hand side and wide. 14 minutes played here in O'Moore Park. It is Offaly 6, Laois 4 points. Here comes Liam Hoare with the puck out off his left hand side, sending it down there towards Conor Doyle. Both sets of players watching it. Offaly try to win it on the ground. They do eventually come away with it now, as Laois just retreating as Offaly try to get the shot away. They come up the field with the ball, but again it's Offaly's turn just to pull a wide ball there through Donald Shirley, and certainly both sides just feeling their way back into this game. It's been played at a frantic pace so far in the opening quarter of an hour. Laois 4 points, Offaly 6. Here comes Laois with the puck out. Brockon O'Reilly sends it out to an unmarked midfielder, Kevin Byrne. Byrne will have a chance to get the shot away. The umpire's looking at it right underneath the post, but just tails to the left hand side and wide.
But it was a good idea just not to go too long. In fairness to Kevin, he gave himself an option, so you have to do different things. In fairness to Offaly, they have the 2 wing backs are able to run up the side. They're able to play the ball in front of the corner forward, so they have more to their game at the moment.
Well, the puck out comes now again from Liam Hoare. This time it's won back by Cormac Hogan for Laois. He gets back onto his right hand side and sends it route 1 in towards the edge of the 14-yard line, but that's broken well out there by the Offaly fullback James Mahan. He gets the hand pass out now towards Terraginen, who slips, and in comes Jack Breen onto it for Laois. Gets the shot away off the left hand side, but this time always falling away from the goals.
It was indeed, but in fairness, Offaly looked very good and very sounded, and that James Mahan looks like a solid full back, and there'll be nothing easy in there today.
James Mahon certainly has been one of the pillars of strength for Offaly so far. Offaly now retreat through Niall Furlong, who wins that ball around the middle of the field. Conor Doyle in to help him as well, but Laois overturned this now and come up the field with it through Thomas Brennan. But Offaly back there in numbers, just not letting him get any further. It is still Offaly 6 points, Laois 4, 16 minutes gone. Offaly overturned that through Doyle, but his hand pass is misplaced. But Offaly might just get the look at the bounce of the ball, and they come away with it through Cathal Robinson. Robinson tries to get the hand pass forward towards Doyle, but this time the referee has just judged for a throw ball. And certainly, Stephen, after the opening maybe 10-12 minutes, it's end-to-end stuff, just maybe a couple of mistakes starting to come into the game.
Yeah, and a few wides as well. And look at, I think Enda alluded on it, sometimes playing with the breeze is more difficult, and in a big field like this, particularly with the sets of forwards that we have, sometimes when the ball holds up inside, it gives your forwards a better chance. But Laois have put, I think it's 4 wide there now at the minute. To be disappointed with that, particularly playing with a strong breeze.
Well, Offaly win that long Laois clearance from the goalkeeper through Terry Guinan. He sends it up now towards Conor Doyle. Conor Doyle gets a bit of space in the middle of the field, skips by a Laois challenge, and he's going to maybe think about playing a ball down into the corner. Goes in towards the Offaly corner forward, Cathal Robinson. Robinson with a brilliant first touch, gets the hand pass out as far as Screeney off his left hand side, take the shot, but that's caught by Brockon O'Reilly in the goals for Laois, and away comes O'Reilly with it for the Laois man. He sends a good puck out towards Jack Breen. Breen sends it down the field, but again it just breaks over the head of all the players, and waiting there is James Mahon, safe as a house at full back so far. Away come Offaly now once again. They're trying to run infield with it, but again Laois back there in numbers, and it is end-to-end stuff, but both defences now starting to get well on top. Offaly try to overturn this ball, but again Laois hold on to it through Kevin Byrne, and this time Kevin Byrne gets a high challenge and wins the free. Next score important.
Deja seemed a bit of a handy one. I think the ref is actually, myself and Steve were talking beforehand about everything, including the ref, and we were hoping he'd let it go. I think he's done a fair job now so far, and the lads have been able to tear into each other, and I didn't see the free there, but he obviously did, but I wouldn't be giving out about the ref so far. I think he's done a fine job.
Well, Ben Deegan, most of the frees he's getting are not in around that 40-50 yard scoring zone, and he's back behind his own 65 once again. Here comes Deegan with the free for Laois, lifts it, gets good distance behind it. The umpires have a look, they haven't to look too long, and after a couple of hard frees, that's a good score by Deegan.
Absolutely, needs to settle him and settle his team, and there's a lot of hurling going, so you need to keep the scoreboard ticking over, so he'll be happy with that, and Laois will too.
A lot of hurling done, only 1 point between the sides. 6 for Offaly, 5 for Laois. 18 minutes gone here in a pulsating, throbbing O'Moore Park, full of excitement here for this Leinster Hurling Championship final. Away come Offaly now with the ball. They try to win it, but it does break out off the stick of Killian Martin, and it's going to be a line ball for Laois. So the next maybe 5-10 minutes crucial to see who can take maybe some form of control of this first half, as Jack Breen just lining up that line ball, but I think he's going to leave it off there to his centre back Tom Cuddy. Actually the cornerback Bobby Murphy's going to come out, 2 players with the white helmets, and it's a chance maybe for both sets of players to draw their bed. Into the 19th minute, it is Offaly 6, Laois 5 points. Here comes Bobby Murphy with the line ball, makes brilliant connection with it, sends it in towards the 21 metre line, but that's won back there by the Offaly captain Dan Ravenhill, playing in a more defensive role in this opening half. Sends a long ball down in the corner. The target was Jack Screeney, but first to it is Joseph Pearson. Joseph Pearson comes away with that ball for Laois, gets the hand pass out to Tom Cuddy. Cuddy now takes a strike from distance, but it's just going to break out to the left hand side and wide. And certainly, Stephen, defender's game the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just noticed, even with Laois playing with the breeze there, that the sweeper seems to be working for our lads so far in this game. And I think Laois are trying to just leave a one man in there and to expose, whether it's Owen Cuddy or whether it's Cormac Byrne, but it just doesn't seem to be working for them. The ball is coming out too quick.
Yeah, well, again, Laois really coming into this game strong. They have a fine defence led by Tom Cuddy at centre back. Offaly getting it hard to poke the holes through that defence at the minute. Here comes Kieran Flynn with it, bursting out from full back as he works it out towards his number 9. That's Kevin Byrne. Kevin Byrne loses possession. Neither side can recuperate. There is going to be a free here, and it's going to be for Laois. For Offaly rather, just going to be punished here now as Adam Screeney comes out to take this free. Is going to be Kevin Byrne, but certainly not a whole pile in that, it has to be said, and Offaly will have a chance. And certainly you have to credit both defences. Laois really finding a foothold in that game. Offaly's half backing to start well, but a lot of that Laois leaders, Kieran Flynn, Tom Cuddy, really coming to the fore now.
Yeah, I think we alluded to that before the game as well, that both defences in the campaign have leaked very little, to be fair to them. And that one's just gone over, yeah.
Yeah, we look at Screeney there, never going to miss from there. A simple enough free there from 45 metres, and that's puts Offaly 2 back in front again. It's Offaly 7, Laois 5 points just after 20 minutes. That puck out intercepted there from Laois by Brecca or Lee Kavanagh. Lee Kavanagh takes on Cuddy. He has the advantage, might need it yet. He skips back in through 2 or 3 Laois challenges, but the free had come, and this is going to be a chance for Offaly to add further on to the lead.
In fairness, Brocken is looking out, seeing what his options are. Can he go long? Will he go short? But in fairness, I was just watching actually Lee Kavanagh. What he was doing, he was kind of half fooling the keeper. I wasn't really looking at you, but he was very, very focused. Well played, Lee. Very clever.
Well, Adam Screeney is going to have another free almost straight in front of the goals, about 45 metres out, and he pops it over the bar. And certainly where Laois have copped up the few frees that Offaly have punished him from, it's all in the scoring zone. Offaly seem to be more content to give away the frees out around the middle of the field.
They are, but in fairness, there's an awful lot of honesty going on here. I just think that the bit for Laois is not working is they're working it out, but as far as the middle third, but there isn't a focus, and you've mentioned it already. And Stephen says we've one man inside, we're playing with the wind. If that's what you're doing, well, then you should be shooting from 50-60 metres. But we're hitting the ball in a 3-on-1, so Declan needs to sort that out.
Well, it is into the 22nd minute of the game. It is Offaly 8 points, Laois 5 points. Ball comes up the field now. Killian Martin tries to just keep it in. He's tussling over the far side of the field as the ball breaks out off Martin, and it is going to be a line ball for Laois. And with their cornerback Bobby Murphy, he'll come out and take this one once again. So Laois will just be looking to get a score, as Enda rightly said, a strong breeze behind them. Maybe if Laois shoot from 50-60 metres, that'll carry them over the bar, because they're getting into good positions here as this line ball is about to be taken, and it's going to be taken this time by Thomas Brennan. He sends a brilliant one in towards Ben Deegan. It breaks off Deegan and in around and a 21 metre line. Laois almost get it there. James Mahan back there just intercepted as Cormac Bourne's about to pick it up. Mahan comes out from full back, one-handed, flicks it out towards Lee Kavanagh. He'll do well to keep this in here, and indeed he won't. The ball just makes it out over the sideline. You can just see it there, the excitement in Laois. That ball did break in for half a chance. If Cormac Bourne had been onto it, a chance of a goal.
Yeah, but more to the point, I think, was how clever or how solid that Offaly full back line is. We were talking about it earlier. Young Larkin, Mahan and Kelly are very, very good, and just looking at it, even though the ball went in, it didn't look like it was going to be a goal chance. The Offaly full back line is very good.
Well, the line ball comes here from Ben Deegan. He makes brilliant connection with it and cuts it over the bar. What a score. If Joe Canning, who wore a red helmet for so many years, were to do that, they'd be talking about him. For a young fella, 17 years of age, to cut it over like that, a brilliant skill.
Wouldn't mind. Just before the game I was watching them practicing, and actually Adam Screeney did the very same in practice, so I'm sure he'll get his chance as well. But in fairness to Ben, great score. Laois needed it badly.
Well, a classy score from a classy player, and that's a good score for Laois at the real right time. And Laois now have a free to follow up, and it's that man Ben Deegan who cut over that majestic sideline cut. He's going to go back now closer to his own half back line than the 65. He's almost 4 or 5 metres out from his own 45. Breeze behind him into the 24th minute. It's Laois 6 points, Offaly 8. Here comes Deegan with the free to come. Cayman Flynn, the referee, blows the whistle, and Deegan now, his confidence will be sky high. He lifts that ball, sends it a long way, and he's going to have the distance. Laois just trying to keep it in there, breaks in the square, and was just dropping out to the left hand side and wide. Laois kept it in, but quickest to it is Offaly's full back, and that is James Mann, who comes up the field with it, but it's given away there now towards Cormac Hogan. Hogan has been playing well at left half back for Laois. Just rushed his shot, breaks out to the right hand side and wide.
Yeah, it was Dan Ravenhill. He had a lot of time there. He looked up, and in fairness to him, it was nearly the perfect ball, but it went straight to a Laois wing back in Cormac Hogan. But again, Laois didn't do anything with it, and playing with a breeze there inside. I don't know, as Enda said, I don't know what the game plan is, but Laois seems to be coming on top though, Joe. They're on top there for the last 4 or 5 minutes now, and what's gone? 24 minutes, so last 6 minutes Offaly need to get back into it.
Probably end Laois have dominated possession in the last maybe 5-10 minutes, but they haven't made a count yet on the scoreboard.
I think you're right, and what Stephen is saying, tactically, what are we doing? Like, look at this ball, it's going in, there's 3 Offaly men and only 1 Laois man. That's not going to work.
Yeah, well, certainly Offaly looked to have got to set up the captain and centre forward Dan Raven. He's playing as an extra defender back there and is really adding a bit of bulk and steel to that Offaly half back in that layer of protection. But here comes Offaly up the other end of the field. Adam Screeney cuts inside his man. He's pulled back there, and it is going to be a free for Offaly and Adam Screeney. But certainly, Stephen, it looks so far as if Offaly have got their set up right. They're willing to sacrifice Ravenhill out of the forward line. He's probably arguably the biggest man on the field, and he's hitting a lot of ball and winning a lot of ball behind that half back line for Offaly.
Absolutely, and we're talking about the supply of ball inside, and it hasn't worked out the whole time, but Adam got out in front that time got onto the ball, and for anyone marking a small man will know that it's very hard to tackle them, because the first thing they'll do, you put the arm around them, they'll go down to ground. Another score from Adam Screeney from free.
Yeah, well, that's his most difficult free so far, out near the sideline, about 45-50 metres out, and Screeney, full of confidence, puts that ball over the bar to restore a 3-point lead for Offaly. It is Offaly 9 points, Laois 6 into the 26th minute of this match. Away come Laois now. Ball could break here. It almost came up for Bendegan. Laois still haven't given up on it through Ger Quinlan. I think a chop came in there from Brecon Kavanagh. Well, certainly that's what it looks like from the free. But Ger Quinlan, you can just see, and there is that chance if the ball can break right for Laois. Ger Quinlan, he's probably been starved the quality ball. Bendegan the same. It'll probably be a free put over here by Laois, but certainly you just look to hit that forward line a bit quicker with more crisp and precise ball.
Or else bring Ger Quinlan to the half and start shooting from the half, but you have to come up with something. My own phone here is going mad with text messages saying, what's the forward setup and why is it happening? So people on TV and people listening themselves are wondering why is the Laois set up the way it is, but and everybody can appreciate it. It's just not working at the minute.
Yeah, well, you can see they're isolating, or they had been isolating Ger Quinlan in the edge of the square, but there's been 2, if not 3, Offaly defenders around there, as Offaly have just their players further up the field. But Ger Quinlan now gone out to centre forward. Here come Laois through Thomas Brennan. Thomas Brennan flying up the field, tries to scoop it out one-handed into the corner, but again, Offaly just back their numbers. Ger Quinlan, though, will wrestle it back for Laois. Good pick up and a hand pass out to Liam Kirby. Kirby fumbles the ball, but does well to recuperate it. Gets it back out towards Ger Quinlan. Offaly trying in vain to overturn it, as Quinlan comes off his left-hand side from distance, just out to the left hand side and wide. Even though that's a wide, that's a positive from Quinlan to get on the ball more.
That's what I'm saying, either give him ball inside or bring him out. So I've no problem to him sitting around 45 metres out getting on the ball, and that's maybe he did that himself, I don't know, but it's good to see him getting on ball.
Well, if you've just joined us, it is a game finally poised. It's currently Offaly with a 2-point lead. Offaly 9, Laois 7 points. 27 minutes almost played here in a packed O'Moore Park in Port Laois. Offaly now try to win it back around the middle of the field and eventually get it into her hand through Niall Furlong. Furlong sets away. He makes a bit of inroads there. Gets the hand pass outside towards Cathal Robinson. Robinson is blocked down. Offaly looking for the rebound. Robinson gets it again. Goes outside towards Conor Doyle. Doyle again tries to get the hand pass, but Laois stand him up, and Ger Quinlan, he's starting to get more involved in this game since he's come out around the edge of the 45-65 metre line. Laois back there holding up, and that's a spectacular pick up there by Offaly, but again, just as they get the hand pass away, the referee has blown for a free. And certainly, Stephen, despite both sides doing a good bit of hurling in their own ways, it is largely defensive on top. You can see Laois, as Enda said, starting to just slowly change their shape, and that's bringing the likes of Ger Quinlan into the match.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been a few scrappy moments there or whatever, but just looking from an Offaly point of view, we have been in positions from 50 yards out to move the ball a bit quicker, and lads were in position, and we just dallied on it a little bit, and there was guys in open space to give us an opportunity to be able to strike, and then we have a turnover.
Well, certainly a break in play here. Will be a chance for both sets of players and indeed management just to catch their respective breaths. But the last couple of minutes, you've maybe seen a change in focus from Laois. They'll know both sets of management. The game isn't getting away from them. It's 6-1, half a dozen the other, both sides of the field. 2 points in the game. You really have to maybe just go for them, and a bit more belief, particularly from the Laois side.
I think so, and I think what he pulled there was, I think Ger Quinlan went down with a potential head injury, so he pulled it. Now it'd be interesting to see, because Cormac Byrne had the ball in his hand. Is it an indirect free? That's my understanding. I think this would be an indirect free for Laois, because he pulled it up rightly so for a head injury. But in fairness, I think Offaly also have an issue. Is that Screeney or Guiney? I think it's one of the wing backs that's down, and he's not right either. He's taken off his helmet and he's struggling. Physio, what do you think about that, Joe? I'm not too sure. Is that Screeney?
Look, no, it's not Screeney. Screeney wearing 15. It looks to be Terragine, and he's back up onto his feet. Hasn't the helmet on yet. But certainly, even though the strong breeze is favouring Laois from a win perspective in this first half, it has benefited neither side really. And you could actually see it open up more in the second half for Laois. That delivery of low, proper quality ball.
I think you're right, Joe. I think that they're two very even teams, and there'll be nothing in it. But here's an indirect free kick, or indirect free puck, I'm fairly sure, yeah.
Comes in and breaks in the edge of the square. Offaly have to be quick with it here. Liam Hoare races out from the goals. There's a sub on the Offaly team. Into the fray comes Paddy Dooley, the Kennedy clubman, and off goes Terragine. Terragine got that brilliant opening score, but he, as Enda said, got hit there and just went down, wasn't able to recover that injury. So that's the first change for Offaly. Offaly come away with the ball now. They have it in the hands of Adam Screeney. Screeney now tries to get it across the face of the Laois 45, but again Laois really warmed to the task. Here comes Jack Breen shooting from distance. Ball breaks in around the square, batted away away there by Liam Hoare, safety first, gets it out as far as the captain, Dan Ravenhill, who's in a bit of space. Ravenhill now will send the ball down into the corner where Cathal Robinson has made a good run. Can Robinson get it out in front of his man? He does. He slips alongside the full-back Kieran Flynn. Robinson still holds on to the ball, but he might just have fouled it here, and he has, and that's really good defending by Kieran Flynn. His man had got the ball first, both players slipped. Flynn didn't go in, didn't foul, stood him up and won the free.
In fairness to it, I think the two sets of full back lines have been very, very impressive and very disciplined. We spoke already about Caleb Larkin, James Mahan and Rory Kelly, but in fairness to Bobby Murphy, Kieran Flynn and Joseph Pearson, they've, like, your Markin Screeney, there's big threats in there, so in fairness to full back line, hurling very well. Here's Brocken Riley, 45 metres out.
Brocken Riley comes, gets the ball across the field, takes a couple of steps forward, takes a booming effort for Laois, the goalkeeper. It's out to the left hand side and wide, and Stephen, in the modern game, probably wouldn't have done that from the goals in your time, but you can just see Laois were quick as a flash. Brocken Riley made a great run and just unlucky not to get the score.
Was told not to come out of the goals, Joe, that's why he didn't get a chance. No, but look, it was a good opportunity. He's playing with the breeze, and he was unfortunately out, but just on the last play there, to be fair to Liam Hoare, all he had to do when the ball came in, he had one Laois man coming in, just tapped down the ball. The only Laois man that was inside was Ger Quinlan at the time.
Well, away come off you up the field once again. It's end-to-end stuff. Score still at a premium so far. Cathal Robinson trying to get it, but Laois really started to dominate in that defence. Their full-back, Kieran Flynn, he's been outstanding in the last 15-20 minutes. Comes back to his goalkeeper, Brocken O'Reilly, and with that, the referee blows for half-time. 31 minutes and 15 seconds. The game's finally poised. And listen to the atmosphere here as both sides head into the tunnel. What an occasion for both sets of players. I think everyone here, whether they're neutral, whether with Laois or Offaly, really commending two fantastic sides. And the game finally poised. You can cut the tension in on Moore Park here with a knife, but the players settling into it quite well. Scores at a premium, but the game finally poised.
Yeah, you're right. Scores at a premium. Probably goalies and full back lines playing fierce well. So frees are going to be important. I was very impressed with Offaly's set up, the way they were playing the ball in. They probably went through a 10-minute lull where it wasn't working for them. Laois